Guys, my name is Andrew McClung, and this is my story on how I'm training to become a pro rock climber. As you guys can see, I'm sitting in a van. I'm actually renovating this van because I'm going to live out of it. I'm moving to a new city to become a route setter, and I'm actually really excited, but rent is very expensive, so I'm gonna renovate this van. So I started climbing on July 10th of 2020. When I started climbing, I didn't really think much of it. I kind of just did it for something, something you do for fun. I went with my cousins a few times, and I played soccer at the time, so I didn't really expect to switch from soccer to climbing because soccer was my main focus for the longest time. My second time ever climbing, I managed to climb this V5, and I didn't even know what that meant. I just thought it was a cool climb because it had like a jump in it, and I'll show that climb right here. About a year later, in 2021, I was climbing, and this guy I'd never talked to, his name was Nathan. He was like, "Yo man, have you ever competed before?" And I was like, "Nah man, I kind of just do this for fun, it's nothing I take that seriously." I didn't even know competitions were a thing back then. And he was like, "Well, I mean, would you be interested in trying to compete?" He's like, "There's a local USA climbing comp here. It's a qualifier event you could do." And I was like, "Yeah man, sure, why not?" So I talked to my mom about it. She helped me get signed up. W mom. And a few months later, I went to this comp, and I had no expectations. My goal was just to, kind of try hard and see where I get with it. And I was pretty nervous, it was my first competition ever, but I just wanted to have fun and give it my best shot. Towards the end of the competition, I met this guy named Alex, and I started talking to him about it, and he was like, "Yo dude, like, you got third place." And I was like, "What? No, I didn't." And come to find out, yeah, I got third place by a long shot. Me and the top few guys, our scores were pretty close, and then fourth and on, they were a little bit lower than ours. But that was really cool. It was like my first competition ever, and I managed to get third place. Going on to the next competition, there's this competition in Nashville, and it's a local qualifier event. And same thing for that competition. I didn't really have expectations. I kind of just did it for fun. And whenever I went into that competition, whenever I went into that competition, I was just nervous. I wanted to try hard, have fun, and not really think much about what other people were doing. So that's what I did. And I also managed to get third place at that comp, which was cool. In 2022, the same guy asked me if I was going to regionals because it was located in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it was at this gym called Synergy Climbing and Ninja. And I was like, regionals? Wait, you're telling me there's more than a local? Come to find out, it goes a local qualifier event, regionals, divisionals, and then nationals, and then worlds. And I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought you would just do a fun local competition and move on. So I go into regionals, and this is January of 2022, and I didn't know how legit these comps even got. I mean, I walked in, there was isolation, there was 100 people in the crowd, it was 4 minutes per boulder, so you'd have 4 minutes to climb, 4 minutes off, 4 minutes on, 4 minutes off, so on for 4 climbs. And I went on the first boulder, and I was so nervous again. Every comp I was at, I was so nervous because I just didn't know these comps were that competitive. And first boulder is a slab climb. I managed to flash that, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Second climb, it was purple paddle climb. I'd never done a move like that, and so I just tried really hard, and I managed to flash that one as well, which is cool. The next climb, I didn't even think I was gonna get off the start, and I managed to flash that one as well, which was super sick.
Yes! Come on, dude, you got it, you got it. Oh my God, you got it. Come on, yes! You're kidding me.
Fourth climb, I either flashed a low zone or got zone. I can't remember, but I ended up getting 7th place at that comp, which was super sick. The next comp I had was divisionals, and that was in Kansas City. That was February of 2022. That was the first comp that I actually felt, I guess I could say, like, I actually felt some emotion from climbing, you know? Like, I actually felt really upset that I didn't perform how I wanted. And we didn't have a lot of money at the time. We flew out there, and it's like, I fell on the finish of every boulder. And I was just kind of bummed, you know? I didn't perform how I wanted to, and there was really nothing I could do about it. I just had to accept that and move on and learn from it. Over the summer, I trained really hard. I'll show you guys some clips right now. I mean, I did like weighted pull-ups, I did, 4x4s, I was just climbing really hard boulders, like to my limit. I mean, I did everything I could do. I mean, any training you can think of, that's what I did, because I realized I could get somewhere with climbing, so I wanted to make that happen. I had a qualifier event the next year in Chattanooga and in Nashville. Both of those comps, I barely missed podium at them. I just had some bad rounds. There were some strong guys, so I got 4th place at both of those. Regionals of January 2023. I climbed very good at this comp. I'll show you guys some videos of this comp. I mean, I just executed very well. I didn't top anything, but I flashed quite a few zones, and that put me in at 4th place at a regionals comp. I was really psyched on that, and I also beat quite a few guys who were stronger than me, so that's cool. February 2023, I had a divisionals competition in Cypress, Texas, at this gym called Inspire Rock. It was my last bouldering comp in youth, and first day was qualies. It's like 20, I don't remember, like 24 to 30 guys, and I think it was just a 2-day comp. Sorry, I was trying to remember. Yeah, it was a 2-day competition. So first day was qualies, second day was finals. And first day, climbed very well, flashed the first boulder. I'll show you guys that right here. For second boulder, I didn't do too bad. I fell in the finish of that one. Third climb, did not zone. Fourth climb, did zone. So I made finals. Second day, I potatoed so hard. I climbed so bad. I was not in a good mental state at all. I just kind of lost everything. There was a bunch of stuff going on at the time, and I just didn't execute how I wanted to because of my mentality, honestly. I was going through a bunch of personal things, and I just was not in a good mental headspace at all. And I just really wanted to do well in climbing. I was working a ton, and I was exhausted all the time. I mean, that was one of the hardest times of my life, like working physically and training. And there was this one training I did that was like one of the hardest trainings I've ever done. I did 3 hours and 20 minutes of nickels and dimes. If you guys don't know what that is, it's where you do 5 pull-ups and 10 push-ups every minute on the minute. And I did that for 3 hours and 20 minutes. So that was like 1,000 push-ups, or 1,000 pull-ups, 2,000 push-ups. And I don't really know what made me do that. I just kind of wanted to train hard and do something that would really push me to my limit, so that's what I did. Moving on to collegiate. So my first ever collegiate competition, I got 4th place, and I wasn't too upset with that because I only slept like 3 hours that night, and I was basically just like, if I wake up on time, I'll go to the competition. If not, oh well. So I woke up, I fell asleep at like 2 in the morning, woke up like 6. It was just like not a lot of sleep at all. And I was like, whatever, I'll get up, I'll go to Atlanta. So I woke up, drove 2.5 hours to Atlanta, climbed this competition just to qualify for national qualifiers, and I got 4th place, so that's cool. My next comp was, well, actually no, before that. I took a lot of time off of competing after that comp. I managed to injure myself pretty good in January of 2024. I tore my lumbrical and my FDP tendon on my left hand and my ring finger. And yeah, that sucked. It still bothers me to this day. I kept climbing. I probably shouldn't have, but I did. My next comp was this comp on April 9th of 2024. It's at this gym called the UT Vol Wall. It's in Knoxville. I didn't have any goals for this comp except to beat someone. I wanted to beat somebody so bad, and I did. And I made finals. Just sick. I didn't make podium, barely missed podium. My next comp was considered my biggest comp yet. It was this competition in Atlanta, Georgia. It was a national qualifier. It was my first time ever just being shut down mentally. I flashed the first 3 boulders, which was sick, and then topped another one. And then like the last 2 climbs, on August 3rd, 2024, I competed in a competition called Hotter Than Chicken for the first time. And it's this competition they do every single year in Nashville. And you basically eat really hot chicken and then you go climb. And it's terrible, but it's a really fun comp. Uh, that was my first comp after the national qualifier I had in Atlanta. And I was kind of just doing this comp for fun. I mean, I didn't really have expectations for this comp. I did not make finals, but I did have a lot of fun. So that was cool to go do that comp after being shut down at my national qualifier. I then did my first cash comp August 10th of 2024. I was really excited for that competition. I was also dealing with a ton of injuries at the time, so I did not make finals. There was one boulder specifically that I would have made finals if I did it, but I couldn't because it was a pocket and I couldn't climb on pockets on my left hand. So I was kind of bummed about that. But it was still a fun comp, hung out with a lot of cool people, and just had a fun time overall. September 29th, 2024. Yeah, this was a good comp. I remember it was a Southern Grit Series comp called Chattown Throwdown, and I did not make finals at this comp, but I did climb very, very well. I That was probably the hardest I've ever climbed and the best I've ever executed in a comp up to that date, and it was just such a good time. Like the vibes were good, everybody there was trying hard, everybody was positive, and I just had a great time. I did strain my wrist really bad at that comp, but I kept climbing because I wanted to have fun and keep climbing, you know. Uh, October 10th of 2024, this was where my injury got worse. So I helped route set and forerun for a Youth USA comp at my local gym, and I was unaware of how strained my wrist really was. I realistically should have rested, but I did not. And because of that, I fractured my wrist because of just like the stress that was on it. And it hurt really bad, but I didn't know it was fractured at the time, so I just kept on competing and climbing anyways. And then October 25th, 2024, I had a comp at this gym called Block Haven. It was called the Blockbender comp. And that's one of the biggest comps around. I competed in that comp with no expectations just because of how bad my wrist hurt. But it was a really fun comp. Got to watch a really awesome finals round with a bunch of strong guys. And yeah, that's about it. Moving on to November 9th of 2024. I had another Southern Grit Series comp. And yeah, this is the comp that I came to the conclusion my wrist was broken. I climbed really well at this comp, even though I was super crippled. um, the qualities went well. My homie Jackson was with me, which was sick. He climbed really good too. And then he kind of helped me keep going, even though it hurt. And I made finals. Yeah, I went into finals in third place, second or third place. I went into finals, and I remember on the first climb thinking, "Wow, my wrist hurts so bad." Like I was in the most pain I've ever been in climbing. Like it was 10 out of 10 pain. The second climb, the thing that hurt my wrist the worst was slopers. Like whenever I had to like flex in this position really hard, it it was excruciating pain. I mean, I could not hang on to stuff. But it was a finals round. A lot of money was on the line, and I was determined. So I got on this one climb. I'll show you guys a video of it right here. And I just tried as hard as I could, despite how my wrist felt. And I let out a power scream right here. And as you can tell, that was not me trying hard. That was me screaming because my wrist hurt so bad. uh, yeah. Anyway, that comp went well for how bad my wrist hurt. Moving on to the next comp. Um, well, actually, I took a while off of climbing, and I did some recovery for my wrist. Trained a little bit. I went climbing outside, and then February 10th or 11th, I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember, but it was the 10th or 11th. I had a comp in Huntsville. It was another local cash comp, and I was really excited for this comp. It was the first time I wasn't injured in months. I was feeling really strong. I got an Airbnb with some homies, and we all hung out, and then we went and climbed. And then the next day, we woke up. We were getting ready for the comp, and I felt a little bit weird whenever I woke up. I woke up and I was like, surely I'm not sick. Yeah, no, I woke up and I had 102 fever. I was really upset because I mean I went and climbed anyway. I climbed terrible, but I still I just didn't get to climb how I wanted to, and that's okay because that's how competitions go. Um, so this next comp was a comp that I had been training for a really long time. I started training back right when my wrist got injured actually, and it was a NAX it was a NAX USA competition. If you don't know what that is, that's like an elite level USA climbing competition, and that's how those competitions are how you get points to go to the open national competitions and then go to like team trials and so on. I get to this competition and I'm hanging out with all my homies. I go back to my Airbnb. I only sleep like 3 hours. I woke up late and I didn't have any breakfast at all, really. I had like a peanut butter and jelly and then like a yerba mate, like energy drink tea. And I go to this comp just feeling so terrible. Like, just looking back, I worked so hard and I was feeling so strong for this comp. And I made it to the comp and climbed terrible. I mean, I was nervous on top of not had eaten, and I just I didn't perform how I wanted to. And I will say I learned a lot about that competition. I mean, a lot. And I think that my biggest takeaway from that competition is that it's important to not make excuses. It's important to continue to execute because if you keep making excuses about things, it's just not going to help you get further. I think the best thing to do is look at how much fun I did have and how hard and good the boulders were and just what I learned from that competition and what I took away from it. I think that's what's important. My next competition, it was May 3rd in Nashville of this year, 2025. It was a cash comp. I had no expectations because a comp previous to that comp I re-tore my lumbrical and my FDP tendon. Just so annoying. But I made finals, and comp was super good. Went well. I missed podium by one zone and one attempt. I was really upset, but it's okay. I took some time off from comps. It was for like a few months. I just climbed and trained for fun, which I never do that. I don't think I climbed or trained for fun in like the past like 3 years. So I was like, I'm just gonna give myself like a month or two to climb for fun. I did that, and honestly, that really helped me. I started performing better because I wasn't climbing under pressure. I was just climbing for fun. And then moving on to August 2nd. Yeah, there's the hotter than chicken comp came back again 1 year later, right? I didn't even plan on going to this comp. I signed up like 4 days prior to it, and I had no expectations again for this competition. I switched my mindset to, instead of I want to win, I switched it to just I want to go try hard. I want to go try hard and have fun. So that's what I did. And I made finals. This is a really competitive competition. So I was pretty excited that I made finals at this comp. And I did not podium, but I did climb very good. And it was a fun time. I'll show you guys some clips from that one.
Come on! Get up there!
So yeah, my next competition was a cash competition in Memphis. And this comp was a very special comp to me. Me and my best friend John Ford, we had a goal at this comp, and our goal was to just dominate, and that's what we wanted to do. And this comp is also very competitive. There's a lot of strong guys there, but I will say that although there are ways that me and him did not perform how we wanted to, we still learned so much from this competition. And I think the biggest thing is that we both tried really hard, and that's what's important. And although we didn't get the results we wanted, we still we're still going to continue to go for our goal, because now we know what it's gonna we know what it's gonna take. Me and John kind of have like a target on our backs. That's what it feels like, because we both have such high goals with climbing. And if all the guys are up here and we're still down here, we can feel ourselves like slowly catching up, because we know where we want to be in a few years. And it doesn't matter how long those guys have been climbing, because me and John, we have a goal and we're going to meet that goal. And I think that's what allows us to climb as good as we do whenever we go to these big competitions. I made finals of this competition, and the first boulder, I didn't even know what to do on it. The second boulder, I'll show a video of that right here. That was definitely my style. I was actually the only one who even came close to matching the finish.
Let's go, dude! Yeah! Let's go, dude! Come on! Come on, dude! Fight hard!
And the third boulder, I don't know what it was, but that boulder was one that shut me down mentally, because I knew if I got zone on that boulder, I would have got podium. I think I would have been second place actually, but I would have been second or third. But because I knew that, I just wasn't able to perform, and all that pressure was on me, and it was just it was a real big upset because I knew that I could have made podium if I would have gotten zone on that climb. The last comp I had was it was actually this Red Bull competition in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and that was the most recent one. And this was a qualifier for the Red Bull Creepers comp that was underneath the Market Street Bridge in Chattanooga. Basically, they set this route, and you get to climb underneath the bridge, and like the first one on the top wins. And qualifiers was very chaotic. There was like at least, I mean, it felt like there was like 100 people in there, and in this one room, I couldn't focus, I couldn't try, just because of how busy it was. And there was one boulder though that caught my eye, and it was just pink. It was like a step up. I'll show you guys a video. It was the step up, and you had to kind of paddle off to this crimp, and then you come down and match it, and then you go out left to this like crimp and this undercling crimp, and then you have to do like this weird toe hook slash mono weird match that I don't even know. Here's the video. You guys can see it. And in this competition, this boulder was one that got a lot of attention. A lot of people didn't top this boulder, especially the guys who were stronger than me, but I managed to flash this climb. And the one thing I took away from that is that the reason I flashed this climb is because I had 100% confidence in myself. I looked at this climb, I was like, I know I can do this boulder. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. And it basically felt like I wasn't even the one present in climbing this climb. Like, this climb felt so easy whenever I did it that it felt like I didn't even do the climb after. And I remember I got down from that and I was like, what the heck? I was like, some of the strongest guys here didn't even flash this, and I did. And that kind of opened my eyes to like, if I can have that confidence on other climbs that I know I can do, I feel like I can get a long way in competing. I feel like I could get somewhere with competing because the way I executed on that boulder was just phenomenal. I mean, it felt so effortless to me. It was such a good feeling. So that's basically my climbing career up until this point. I mean, I've been very blessed to have a sponsorship with Physivantage, and that's a really good company. It's like a nutrition company for climbing, and they help with recovery and also with training. You guys should go check them out. It's a really good company, and I've met a lot of cool people, and I've definitely progressed faster than the average climber. And I think that's because I know the goal I have, and I know the goal that I want to achieve. So, with that being said, this is just a video on my climbing career and when I started and where I am now. And before long, I will be making the USA national team. That's my goal, and it's going to happen. And I know it's going to happen. So you guys definitely should keep an eye out because you will see me in World Cups one day, and it's not going to be long. So thank you if you watched until the end. That means a lot. I would appreciate it if you guys left a comment just to kind of let me know that you watched until the end. You know, just leave like a, I don't know, like a smiley face or a heart or something. And yeah, I guess one more thing I want to add is if you guys have a goal but you don't know if you can do it, go for that goal. Because even if you don't meet that goal, you'll be a lot higher and you'll be a lot further in life than you would have been if you didn't try to meet that goal. So yeah, thank you guys for your time, and I'll see you guys when I'm at a World Cup.